Welcome to the Juice Radio Talk Show. 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 Reality TV, church-free news. Let's talk happy love and marriage lifestyle. Come and talk with us. Come and share with us. Come and laugh with us. Come on and pray with us.
Regina Cole is a special guest. You should be following your lead. Bless. Subscribe on YouTube. Listen on podcasts. We live on IG and Facebook. This episode is sponsored by Truth and Triumph Ministries.
Hello, everybody. Come on in the room. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you all for being here today. Listen, you guys, I want to have a conversation. These are my thoughts, my opinion, may not be everybody's facts or reality, but my thoughts and my opinion on the situation going on where Pastor Jamal Bryant has announced he is ending the boycott with Target. He is calling for an end to the boycott. I'm going to give you my reflection on this, also pull up some information that I think is going to be critical and very needed for this conversation, you guys. This whole thing, when it all started, I'm going to talk about all of that as well. I've got a bunch of things up here I'm going to discuss with you guys, but major announcement has been made today that Pastor Jamal Bryant has called off the boycott with Target. Now, let me go ahead and share with you. I'm going to go ahead and run a shout out to Joy 105. I'm going to share clips from their video before I get into having a conversation of how I feel about this whole thing and share my commentary on this whole thing. But let me let you guys be aware of what Joy 105 has shared pertaining to the boycott. And as you can see, let me bring this up on the screen here. Give me one moment. This simply says Jamal Bryant ends Target boycott after 1 year. And I'm going to get into what some of the people stated in the conversation in the chat area over there at Joy 105. So shout out to our friends, Joy 105. Let me go ahead and run this, you guys. Here we go. Let's take a listen to
accomplish in the future. Leader Mallory spoke to what CEO Michael said to the 400,000 employees in terms of us not being treated with the highest level of respect. And the question that has been asked of us over the last year, of 35 Fortune 500 companies who have walked away from DEI, why did we pick Target first? And the answer to that resoundingly is Target is the only one we invited to the cookout. They were the only ones we felt were kissing cousins. They are the only Fortune 500 company that got a hood nickname. We called them.
Now, I'm going to stop right there because my thought on this, and y'all know, okay, this is my channel, my thought, my opinions, my commentary. Shout out to all of y'all that's in the chat. Hey, Stephanie, thank you for being here. Let me give you a real shout out real quick. Shout out to my husband. Thank you as well for being here. Hey, Dion, thank you for being here. Hey, Pat Knapp, thank you for being here as well. Just So Being Me, thank you for being here. Appreciate you, Marcia Tate, for being here as well. Yo, K, thank you for coming on. And Gigi About TV, thank you for being here as well. Now, Pastor Jamal Bryant, this statement right here, this statement that he is mentioning, there were several companies that fell under the guidelines of that DEI program, you guys, where the presidential cabinet and under the guidingship of President Donald Trump stated that DEI had to make changes to policies regarding the corporation and their employment and so forth, right? And I thought it was interesting that Pastor Jamal Bryant only targeted target. Now, his statement, and he wants to be comical about it. I don't think it's funny, but he wants to be comical by saying, well, Target is the only one that we black folks basically would invite to the cookout. Well, there were several. Why not go after all? Why go after just one? And he can use the thought, is his opinion as well, of they're the only one that, we invite to the cookout. Let's listen to this statement again. Here we go.
Fortune 500 company that got a hood nickname. We called them Target because
Really? Let's back it up some more. Here we go.
They were the only ones we felt.
Now, why did he only target Target? Here's his explanation for that. Okay, here it is.
Companies who have walked away from DEI, why did we pick Target first? And the answer to that resoundingly is Target is the only one we invited to the cookout. They were the only ones we felt were kissing cousins. They are the only Fortune 500 company that got a hood nickname. We called them Target because we had let them into the house. And so it was not just
all the other organizations let them into the house too, Pastor Jamal Bryant. To be true, to be fair, all the others let them into the house as well. But let's continue to hear what he has to say, because I got a ton of stuff I want to say about this, you guys. I am going to be respectful in my conversation, but I'm also going to be fair. Here we go.
A abandonment of DEI, but we felt as if it was a betrayal to it. Target exceeded not just the $2 billion by Easter, what they'll do at the 97% mark, but in our meeting with Leader Mallory and Bishop Daughtry, they shared they went above that with $100 million in grants.
Credit for leading things, which they should, because we all lead in our own right. But it took real work every day, even when at times we felt a lot of things, sometimes betrayal, sometimes just tired. You're fighting against a massive system. And the fact that we were able to stay the course is really special to me. And of course, Jamal, who's my brother, my big brother, and, his creativity, your creativity, let me not speak as if he's not in the room. Your creativity is incredible. What you have.
All right, now let me pause right here. And I want to say this. Someone came into my comment section and made a comment regarding a post I did regarding Pastor Jamal Bryant, and they were upset because I did not use the title pastor or doctor. They felt as though I should have been respectful because he earned what they said, those things. And I'll bring the comment section up here in a minute. But this young lady who's there with him also called him Jamal. I just wanted to make that clear. I just wanted to share that clarity with y'all. Let me go over here and bring this up. Y'all just hang tight with me. We're not in a hurry or in a rush today. We're going to go ahead and have some conversations, okay? We're going to have some much needed conversations, okay? So let me go over here to my studio, and I'm going to bring this comment up where this person referenced how they thought I should have addressed this. Here's these comments here. How they felt I should have addressed this. Let me bring this up on the screen. I'm going to drop that down for one quick second, and let me bring this up so y'all can see. I don't come on here to, spread no lies or nothing like that. I'm telling y'all, this is how people react when you have conversations. Let me just stop sharing that, and let me bring this up here, you guys. So, and I'm glad that I was able to stop it at that point, because y'all get too sensitive when it's based on discussing a person, especially in the church. Like, well, you need to call them by the appropriate title. How dare you? Blah, 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 squaw, squaw, squaw. Okay. But here is the comment. Here's the comment. Okay. God is love 1010 said this. They said, let me read more. They said, first off, can we respect this man of God? He did graduate from several prestigious colleges and has brought the church he pastored out of millions of debt. Plus, he has been an awesome hero to the community by building affordable houses and has a health clinic at the church with free affordable care. This man of God has earned the right to be called and have the title pastor or doctor in front of his name. My response, fair enough on the channel. Let me tell you, I did say this. So you're just going to neglect the bad he's done? Multiple affairs, according to Giselle, baby out of wedlock, poor behavior behind the pulpit, and lying about ushers' hands behind their back in an effort to protect his wife's dress saga. Yes, he's done good, but he's also done bad too. So I get to choose who I celebrate, who I tolerate, and who and how I discuss them. Yes, that's my stance on that. Because y'all got to stop acting as though simply because we don't call somebody by a title that we're trying to intentionally be disrespectful. Y'all need to stop. All right, let me get back over here as to why I'm having this, and I'll bring this commentary back up here again, okay? Let me go ahead and bring up more so that y'all can hear. Also, Roland Martin shared this conversation on his page as well. So if y'all want to listen to it, y'all can also go to Roland Martin's conversation over there as well. Here we go.
Been able to do not only in your life, but in your ministry and everything that we see happening, is you should be celebrated for it, because it is certainly, you had the thing that helped us to kind of bring this to another level. And we all needed one another. We all needed to play a specific role. And so I'm grateful to be here, and good afternoon to all of you. Thank you for those who are tuning in.
And accomplish in the future. Leader Mallory spoke to what CEO Michael said to the 400,000 employees in terms of us not being treated with the highest level of respect. And the question that has been asked of us over the last year, of 35 Fortune 500 companies who have walked away from DEI, why did we pick Target first?
Okay, so that was the whole gist of that. Now y'all go over there to Joy 105, our friends over there. Y'all get in their comment section and tell me what y'all think about them. Now, a lot of people had a lot to say over there in those comment section of Joy 105. And I want to say this, Joy 105 people in their comments, when I read it this morning, they weren't happy with Jamal. They had a lot to say. Y'all get over there in their comments. I'm not going to bring them all up on the screen because I got so much to talk about right now with this. But then I went over there to Roland Martin's channel, his YouTube channel, and he ran this video as well, this announcement that they were making. And a lot of people in Roland Martin's comment section were on the side of Jamal, taking up for him. And I'm okay with either side. You can defend, you could be on the opposite side. I'm okay with it. But I thought it was very interesting. And let me y'all please hear me clearly. I thought it was very interesting, the people in the comments, because over on Roland Martin, which is not a church sector platform, you had all these people that were agreeing, that I saw were agreeing with Pastor Jamal Bryant, right? Then over here on Joy 105, which is a church sector platform, yes, they point out a lot of negativity that's going on in the churches. You had all of these people, not all, but a large majority of them that were not agreeing with Jamal Bryant. I thought it was very, very interesting. But let me go ahead and read my description as to why I'm having this conversation today. My title, Jamal Bryant calls off Target boycott. But did Target really ever lose? All right. In this video, we're going to examine why many believe Jamal Bryant did not truly win against Target Corporation in the boycott debate. When I say many, I'm talking about a lot of those people that were in the comment section. All right. Over there on Joy 105 and a lot of other platforms. And it goes on to say, I'm stating this, while calls for boycott gain national attention, Target has a long history of community investment. Can y'all please hear me? Charitable giving, educational support, disaster relief, and funding programs that have helped families, schools, and underserved communities across America for decades. Okay, see, this thing with Target about giving and philanthropy work, charitable donations did not just start with the George Floyd situation. They have been doing this even before the name Target became a brand. Please listen, because I've done some research before I pulled up this video and turned these cameras on today, okay? Target was doing this before the name Target became a brand, and I'm going to share that with y'all, okay? Philanthropy work has been in this family's history that started Target before they named the corporation Target, okay? Now, going on to say here, they've been helping family schools and underserved communities across America for decades. From scholarships and neighborhood grants to nonprofit partnerships and emergency response efforts, Target's community footprints existed long before this boycott and continues today. The discussion many people are having is this: even during controversy, Target's broader history of giving did not stop. Critics argue that although public pressure created headlines, it did not ease the company's long-standing pattern of helping communities through billions of donations. And when I said billions with a B, local partnerships and social impact initiatives. This video will also explore why some feel the boycott became more symbolic than transformational, especially after public statements that the boycott was being called off. Okay. We're also going to review whether this moment produced measurable change or whether Target's historical influence, corporate resources, and existing community programs remain stronger than the pressure of campaign. All right. Now, let me go over here and share this with you guys. Even though Pastor Jamal Bryant or Jamal Bryant, whatever y'all want to say, I'm just going to continue to refer as Jamal Bryant, okay? I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not big on these church titles, okay? But even though he's calling off this boycott, there are many, you guys, that are not calling it off. Let me go ahead and bring this article up. My husband shared this article that he found regarding the boycott ending, and he sent it over to me, okay? Here is the information here. I got this off a Newsbreak, and I think it's Atlanta metropolitan area. This is by, here's Miles Montgomery wrote this article here. And I want to share this with you guys, okay? This is the article where they wrote saying that boycott against Target ends after more than a year, Metro Atlanta pastor says, right? And then they have the article and they tell you what happened with the article and so forth and everything. I'm always curious to see what the public opinion says. So I came down here and I looked at the few comments that are on here already. Take a look at what this person says. Now, here's the problem when you start something. Now, hear me clearly, okay? Here's the problem when you start something and then you try to end it. You oftentimes have a more difficult time trying to end it than you did trying to start it. So this person here said, once I start boycotting a business, it continues for life. The corporate culture doesn't change it, only presents a new mask to gain back the supporters. From now to infinity, a true boycotter from times going by. Many don't recall the Denny's boycott period. I still will not support that change. Someone else here put here in a comment, and now I am with many others, and now I, with many others, will be boycotting Target. They can stick their DEI where the sun doesn't shine. All right? Now, I wanted to bring that up because real quick, just because you say, okay, we're done with it, does not mean that everybody is going to say we're done with it. Now, let me say this. Let me say this, you guys. Let me tell y'all why you got to be careful about jumping on bandwagons that you have not done your own research on when it comes against somebody else. Now, y'all know, let me just thank you, Holy Spirit. Let me tell them this. Y'all know how y'all feel when people start saying things about you and then it get back to you and you're like, nobody came and checked with me. Nobody checked my resume. Nobody asked me if that was true. Nobody came to me and asked me my thoughts or heard from me. That's kind of the way I feel with this whole thing with Target and Jamal Bryant. Jamal has every right to do what he wants to do. Is his opinion, is his walk of life, accountability, all that. But I'm the type of person, when all this stuff started coming out about Target, I said, wait a minute. Instead of me just listening to what he and others are saying about Target, I said to myself, let me go check Target records for myself. Let me see what I can find about Target. And what I found was interesting, because some of the talk and narratives that were going on made it appear that Target had not been trying to help out the Black community for ages. And they have been. They have. They've been out here trying to help and have been helping communities for decades. Hold on, you guys. Thank you. Okay. Now let me show y'all what I found, okay? Now, this information that I found here on Target, let me read this to y'all, was a simple Google or Chat GPT search. Real simple. A lot of people may not even know what I'm about to tell y'all today, because a lot of people may not have done the extensive research that I have done. Okay? But let me show y'all this. According to ChatGPT, Google search, and Wikipedia and other resources, I found this valuable information. Well, I wanted to know about Target and their history, and I found this. Let me just read this to y'all. Target has one of the largest and most structural corporate philanthropy histories in U.S. retail. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that? This is according to research I found on ChatGPT and others. Okay, that Target has one of the longest and most structured corporate philanthropy histories in U.S. retail. Their community giving actually predates the Target store brand itself. Now, let me go ahead and I'm going to bring this up on the screen, but I'm going to have to bring it down because there's a lot, but I'll read it to y'all. But I just want to show you and share y'all. This is a simple little search, y'all. Simple search. Simple search. Okay? Simple search. This is where I'm reading from. If y'all want me to email y'all this, I can email it to you. So not only are they one of the longest and most structured corporations with philanthropy history, they said they're the most. Okay? Let me go over here and tell you this. Their community giving actually predates the Target store brand itself, beginning with the Dayton family business in the early 1900s. So y'all need to do research. Y'all need to do research. Below is a comprehensive history breakdown of Target's community contributions, programs, foundations, partnerships, and initiatives, including ones they created, expanded, or changed over time. Let me bring this back on the screen so y'all can see this, because y'all may need to see this. Y'all may need to see this research. I'm going to just take y'all's comments down for just a moment while I bring this on the screen. This is important. It's very important for people to know things before you start just sharing all kind of stuff with y'all friends and stuff like that. Oh, you know, targeted, but did you research? Okay. Target's community contributions. Complete history, founding, and present. 1. Early philanthropic roots started 1902-1962 by the founder, George Draper Dayton. Listen to this, you guys. Before Target existed, The Dayton family established a strong tradition of giving. They've always been givers, you guys. The Dayton family has always been givers. It's not something new. They've always been givers. Let me bring that back on the screen real quick, y'all, because I want y'all to see this part. And then because it's so small, I'm going to just bring my photo up and I'll read it to y'all. But let me show y'all what they started out doing. And this is why I had a slight issue with Pastor Jamal Bryant coming after Target so hard because of this next thing I'm going to show y'all. The Dayton Foundation, 1918, when it was established, one of the earliest corporate foundations in retails, created by George Dayton to fund community charities and social programs. You know what they focused on when they started this in 1918? Do you know what Mr. Dayton, the founder of Target, do you know what his thought process was and his goals were to do and where he started his charities? It was churches. 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 It was churches, hospitals, schools, local relief organizations, churches. Y'all have to do your research. Okay? And Janie Marshall, thank you for being here. Said you out here going hard for Target, shaking my head. I'm not out here going hard for Target, Janie. I'm out here going hard for truth. That's what I'm going hard for. If Jamal Bryant would have been out here fussing and protesting and boycotting against another company, I would have done the exact same thing because I research information before I jump on anything. So if I'm going hard for Target in your mind sight, it's because I'm trying to show y'all what maybe Jamal Bryant and others didn't show y'all. This Target family has been doing philanthropy work that has not been discussed during this boycott. So that's why I'm doing this. Y'all got to be careful. Y'all got to be careful with out here targeting people. And just like in life and with anything else, even if you guys, Target did some things wrong, Target has also done some things right. Just like I said about Pastor Jamal Bryant, he's done some things right and he's done some things wrong. What is the problem with me showing and sharing with y'all the good that Target has done? Okay? Let me show y'all something else. Let me show you, because we're not even done with this, okay? Let me just show you. Let me just bring this back up here. So Target's goal, first off, of course, was to help the churches, hospitals, schools, and local relief. In 1946, they had a giving, and I'm going with y'all from the history because I'm not just going based on 2025 when the boycott started. I felt it was important enough to go back to the foundation, go all the way back to where it started because it has purpose. In 1946, they started this, what they call 5% profit giving policy. The Dayton family formalized a policy of donating 5% of its profits to communities. That was their policy and still is. They became the largest corporate giving commitment in America, far above typical corporate donations. This commitment continues today. The birth, let's go to number 2, the birth of Target and early community programs. 1962 to 1980, they started their first Target store online in 1962 in Roseville, Minnesota. From the start, the company integrated philanthropy into its business strategy. See, Target didn't just create a business just to sell products. Their goal when they started the very first store was philanthropic work. That's their goal when they started this. It's not just so we can do this and sell stuff and merchandise and everything. Their goal was established even with the very first store to put philanthropy into work. They had early programs. Target started local schools, libraries, youth organizations, arts program, disaster reliefs. They had a whole bunch of stuff, school partnerships, they donation of books and supplies, library grants, reading initiatives, arts funding, sponsorships of museums, theaters, and public arts, local community grants, store supported, neighborhoods, charities, so forth, a whole bunch of things. Let me show y'all something else. Let me just, since y'all, if y'all want to know some numbers, let me show y'all some numbers. Let me show y'all some numbers. And Amaretto Cherry, thank you for being here. You know, I always appreciate you. She said this target has definitely scaled back. I can agree with you on that. But here's the thing. Even with business changes, things take place. Y'all, those of you that know, you know Chick-fil-A, right? Y'all know Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A was ran and operated a certain way when the owner, Mr. Truitt, was alive, right? Things change with Chick-fil-A. But one of the things that Chick-fil-A cannot change, according to information I pulled up, is it was written in his will that they are not able to open up on Sundays. It was written in the will, according to information I found. He did that because his stance and belief on God was that his stores would be closed. And he wanted to make sure that in his passing, that the corporation, Chick-fil-A, would not be able to take that part out. That's why Chick-fil-A's are still closed on Sundays. You know who else had a policy in place, but not in a will? Publix. Publix grocery stores, the founder, when he was alive, the founder would close Publix stores on Sundays. He believed in faith, going to church. Well, when the founder of Publix passed away, the problem was it was not written strong enough in legal terms and legal documents for Publix to stay closed on Sundays. So what did they do? They opened up on Sundays after he passed away. So I get it, Amaretto. Target has definitely scaled back. Yes, they can. Things will change with process. Things will change, just like in churches. One pastor leaves out, another one comes in, things change. Sometimes it's for the good, sometimes it's for the bad. So I understand. We're looking at both sides. Let me show y'all something that's very interesting. Let's talk about the money real quick, and then I'll bring that information back up here on the platform, okay? Let me talk about this money, okay, that Target has. Let me share with y'all this information, okay? I found this website called Target. This is Influence Watch. This is Influence Watch. Let me try and blow this up so y'all can see this, okay? This is Influence Watch. And what Influence Watch is, they put up this information regarding a nonprofit Target Foundation, because y'all know Target has several foundations, okay? And they had here, they say Target Foundation is grant-making foundation associated with American big box retail company Target Corporation. The Target Foundation disperses millions of dollars in grants annually to left out center ideology aligned groups. This is according to Influence Watch. This is not my opinion. This is their channel. Okay, this is what they're saying. It also says in 2020, the Target Corporation and Target Foundation announced a major left of center racial equity initiative shortly after the police-involved death of George Floyd. And in 2021, the organization's pledged to spend $100 million on the initiative over the next 5 years. Now, this is part of what happened regarding these things that happened with Pastor Jamal Bryant, right? Now, it also has this, okay? Let's go over here and look at this budget, okay? It says the budget for 2020, revenue, $22,990,908, right? Expenses, I think that's million. It could be billions over here, really. 14,55050. Assets, 17,816,807, right? Formation, they were formed 1918. President, Amanda Newis, right? So they've got all the numbers here for all of y'all that want to go over there to Influence Watch. Y'all can go over there and take a look. There's the revenue. Here's all the money, right? So they've got tons and tons of money that they're making over there, okay? Now, let me bring up this other information to y'all. Let me bring this information up on here, okay? They also started an expansion in corporate social responsibility. that during their 1980s and 1990s, Target did this. During this era, Target expanded philanthropic work efforts nationwide. Okay? See, Target didn't just want to keep their philanthropic work to a small area. Their goal was bigger than just a small area. So they expanded it in 1980s, between 1980s and 1990s, to be nationwide. And some of the key areas of focus were education, arts and culture, community development, disaster relief. Those are some of the key areas. They also have education programs, major investments. They still are dealing with school, libraries, literacy programs, classroom materials, and so forth. They have an arts program. Target became one of the largest corporate supporters of the arts in the U.S. Did y'all know that? The largest, okay? They got examples, museum partnerships, community art programs, local theater funding. They are large on volunteer programs, mentoring. They got all kind of stuff. Mentoring, community cleanups, charity work, so forth. Now, here's where they changed. In the year 2000, hold on, let me, okay. In the year 2000, Target Foundation was renamed, okay? Originally, the Dayton Foundation, it was renamed the Target Foundation in 2000 when the company became Target Corporation. The purpose, the foundation funds program, which was designed, hold on, you guys, let me make sure, let me get this information. Okay, we're good there. The purpose was a foundation funds program designed to improve economic opportunity, strengthen communities, support financial stability for families. And to do this, they had grants that they work with. They have workforce developments, poverty reductions, education access, community infrastructures, and so forth. The foundation distributes millions annually in grants. Target distributes millions. Millions they distribute, okay, in grants. Number 5, they got another thing. Major national community programs. Target community giving. Target donates 5% of profits to communities each year through cash donations, products, foundation grants. These funds support thousands of nonprofits. Let's talk some more numbers. They have a Target Circle community giving. Let me bring this up so y'all can see what this is. They have a Target Circle community giving. Let me bring this up on the screen so y'all can see this, okay? Target Circle, here it is here. This is what they call their Target Circle community giving. Okay. Here's what this program is. And this is still active. Okay. Target Circle believes in supporting communities. That's why we've teamed up with local and national nonprofits so guests can have direct how we give to the communities around them. So Target is like, we're not trying to hide any of our assets, anything what we're doing. We're not trying to hide any of that. All of this stuff is there on their website. Y'all can find this stuff. Okay. So what is this part of it? The program Target Circle Community Giving is a program where customers vote on where donations go. You got a voice. You have a voice. People out there, if you're saying, well, Target, we want you to do this and we want you to do that, all you got to do is go to Target, get on their website and talk. That's all you have to do. That's all y'all got to do. Okay? Now, it says here, okay, the impact for the Target Circle Community Giving Program is this. Over $26.9 million is directed to nonprofits. $26.9 million. That is what the Target Circle Community Giving was created to do. And over 5,500 organizations have been supported already. I'm going somewhere with this, so y'all just stay with me. And I just want y'all to view and understand who people are attacking. They have focus areas. You know what the areas that the target circle community focuses on? Local charities, food banks, youth services, and community health. This is what this target circle is meant for. So they're doing the work, you guys. And then also they have team member. Let me bring that down and bring this up. Target also has, let me bring this back over here, and then I'm going to get to my main cuts of this. Target member have volunteer programs. They have over 1 million volunteers, 1 million volunteers hour per year. Activities they believe in and they're working on their target employees, volunteer nationwide, mentoring children, building homes, park cleanups, nonprofits, etc. These are just a few of these things, okay? They also have a disaster relief effort program where Target frequently responds to national disasters with cash donations, supplies, and local support. Example, September 11th, they gave financial and product distributions. 2004, the Indian Ocean tsunami, they gave relief. Hurricane Katrina in 2005, they gave $1.5 million to American Red Cross. They also have some recent examples, $3 million for hurricane recovery, $1 million for Maui wildlife relief, $1.5 million for Texas flood relief. This is all on their corporate website. They also turn stores into relief centers, donate food, water, supplies, and so forth. Let's talk about education. Target has funded billions in education programs for education and youth incentives, school library programs that they donate books, library renovations, reading sources, classroom grants. Programs allow teachers to receive classroom materials, technology, learning tools. They have a teacher support program. Target partner with nonprofits like Donors Choose, which is a school project funding platform. They got a lot. They also have workforce development, economic opportunities through the Target Foundation. They have grant support for job training, financial literacy, small business development, career programs for low-income families. They also focus areas that include underemployed workers, youths entering the workforce, community economic growth. Come on now, do your research. Do your research. Let me keep going, and I got something else here. Here, let me bring this one up on the screen. Let's bring this one up on the screen for y'all, okay? Because a lot of people want to make this a black and white issue. That's what a lot of people want to make it, a black and white issue, right? Well, let's go over here. Let's go over here. Social justice and equity programs. They have what they call a REACH initiative that they created in 2020. The Racial Equity Action and Change. Target pledged over 100 million over 5 years to support. And this is part of what I believe was part of all of this communication regarding this unhappiness with Target, because they feel as though that this whole thing wasn't done. But here's what their focus was. Their focus for the pledge 100 million over 5 years was to support Black-owned businesses, scholarships, economic development, community organizations. That's from Influence Watch. Initial donations included $10 million for the Minneapolis community rebuilding. They also have partnership with charities. Target has partnered with many nonprofits and organizations, including the Salvation Army, the Angel Giving Tree, Holiday Toy Drives, American Red Cross, Disaster Relief, Convoy of Hope, Disaster Response Support, Goodwill, donations of unsold goods and clothing, education nonprofits, Donors Choose, local schools, school districts. They have a community renovations project, a bullseye build. Target volunteers renovate schools, community centers, youth facilities. Example, the YMCA housing program renovation. They have that. Cultural and social scholarships. Target has supported programs in the art and museum. Target has historically funded museum free admission days, art education, cultural exhibits, means and publicity, funding sponsor of Week in America radio programs. Diversity and inclusion. Here's the part that a lot of y'all may be familiar with. Target funds or partners with organizations such as Human Rights Campaign, GLSEN, GLAAD, Family Equality Council, National LGBT Chamber of Commerce. That's all according to the Wikipedia. And programs include pride campaigns, community scholarships, advocacy partnerships. And the list just keeps going on and on. Environmental and sustainability programs, part of Target Forward initiative. Focus areas, sustainability, supply chains, waste reduction, renewable energy, environmental responsible programs. They have an employee giving program, the team member giving fund. Employees donate to help coworkers during emergencies. They also match gifts. Target matches employee charitable donations. I'm going to need my moderators to make sure that y'all are in a moderation, that y'all are moderating, all right? Make sure that y'all are moderating over there, okay? Anybody's not doing what they need to do over here, let's make sure. Anybody's not being respectful. We can disagree. Make sure we're doing it lovingly. They don't get a timeout. They get a whole real block, okay? They have an employee giving program. They also have an overall impact key numbers. Let's look at this. 5% of profits donated annually, which we spoke about earlier in this, okay? That's part of their highlights, okay? 5% of their profits donated annually. No matter what money Target makes, 5% of their profit, they automatically have to put back into donations. That's their policy. So here's what I want to say. So when people affect Target's income, when you affect Target's income and you pride yourself on they made less, they didn't make a lot of money, they lowered their income, they lowered their profit. Well, what you just actually did is you've now hurt those that could have benefited from that 5%. That could have been up here. Now it's down here. Target's still going to give their 5%, whether it's 1 million or whether it's 100 million. They still going to give their 5%. But when people target them and make it so they make less, now you've done it. You just hurt people that could have benefited from that extra money. Let me go on before we go to this next thing. Okay. Millions of foundation grants yearly. These are their key numbers. They also have $4 million per work historically have been donated. 1 million volunteers hourly, 1 million volunteers hours yearly, thousands of nonprofits supported. Now, let me tell you all this in summary. Target's philanthropic spans over 120 years. Their philanthropy spans over 120 years. And it includes major structures, which we spoke about before, the Dayton Foundation, Target Foundation, Target Circle Giving, community grants, programs, disaster relief, and all that, okay? In short, Target built one of the largest corporate giving systems in retail, consistently donating billions to education, disaster relief, community development, and nonprofits since the early 20th century. So Target had been out here doing this for a long time. And you guys, Target is going to continue to do this. They're going to continue to do this. They're going to continue to help homeless shelters through their Target Circle. They're going to continue to help youth sport organizations. They're going to continue to help people who deal with domestic violence and need a shelter and place to stay. They're going to continue to have neighborhood clinics. They're going to continue to do all of these things. Now, let me run these numbers to y'all before I bring up my video. I mean, the video of the link to what Target is doing in their other foundations. There's an estimated scale of Target's nonprofit support, known impact, $406 million they've donated in a single year through corporate and foundation giving. So those numbers I ran to y'all earlier, those were billions. Okay. 406 million donated in a single year through corporate and foundation giving. That can be found on their Target website. They've been doing the work, you guys. Did they have some issues along the way? Yes, they probably have. But the thing that I don't agree with is that Jamal Bryant is thinking, okay, I'm ending this because we've won. No, what does a win look like? What does a win look like? Y'all answer that. Let me go ahead and bring this on the screen here real quick. And again, I don't want y'all to feel like I'm mad at Jamal Bryant. I just want y'all to see the side of Target that I think y'all been missing. That's all I'm saying. Y'all been missing the side of Target that hadn't been discussed. And I thought it was only fair to bring it up. This philanthropic work and philanthropy has been with this man that's on the screen. He's deceased now, but this is Doug Dayton. He's the founder of Target. And his family always have been doing philanthropic work. Always. It's in their family history to do this. On the Target site, they wrote this about him July 9, 2013. And they stated that he passed away July 5th at the age of 88. And they also give their condolences and things to him. But there's this part here that I highlighted. And it says, throughout his life, Doug was also known for his passion for volunteerism. He and his brothers established one of the first corporate giving programs in Minnesota. Our company's legacy of giving 5% of our profit, which today equals more than $4 million every week. Hold on, you guys. Let me let my sister finish. Sorry, you guys. Okay. So it said, which today equals more than $4 million every week to communities we serve and become well-known communities giving leaders. He enjoyed helping others through various organizations that focused on social justice, education, the arts, and nature preservation. His wife, Wendy, told the Minneapolis Star-Tribune, including serving more than 50 years on what is now the board of the Twin Cities YMCA. This family has been doing good work. Did they fall on some bad times? I'm sure they probably did. But we should not act as though they weren't out here doing something good for generations. Okay? I brought this video up here on my screen, you guys. This is a video that I did on my channel back, this was 8 months ago. 8 months ago. Why am I bringing this up? Well, Pastor Jamal Bryant, you guys, got mad when the National Baptist Convention of the USA, the nation's largest Black denomination, accepted $300,000 from Target. This was 8 months ago during the national boycott. He got upset with them. Roland Martin also got upset. But what they don't understand is the church, the National Baptist Convention accepted this money to help people that are in need. And that's the thing that people have to understand. So many people lose out because of these wars with other people. Roland Martin, I don't think is suffering financially. Pastor Jamal Bryant, I don't think is suffering financially. I don't even think the Dr. Boys is suffering financially. But the ones that are suffering financially do not get the help and assistance they need when their resources are shut down because we say we got to stand together. We got to be careful. I think there could have been a whole better way to do this whole thing instead of saying, "Oh, we gonna take money from Target. We gonna take money. We gonna prove a point." I think it was bad because even though Pastor Jamal Bryant was like, "Well, here's a website. Y'all can go to this website and buy black owned." A lot of people couldn't do that. And unfortunately, we have to think how many people were affected during this whole thing. Everybody could not benefit from things that was put in place that others say, well, you could just do this instead. Everybody couldn't do that. Everybody couldn't do it. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna bring these up and then I'll drop the link. If anybody would like to come up and have an educational, professional, come on now, loving, even though we disagree conversation, I'll drop the link here in a moment. Y'all can go ahead and come on up and we can talk. Okay. I'm going to drop the link. Be respectful, be kind. Even if you disagree, I'm not here to argue with you. I got control of the button. I can drop you. Okay. We're not going to be disrespectful. We're going to be kind. We're going to be educated and we can communicate. Okay. So I'll drop the link. And while you guys are choosing if you want to come up, I'm going to share with y'all some final things regarding Target. All right, so here's the link to join. There it is. It has been dropped, and I'll go ahead and I'll pin it. All right, I'll pin it on my YouTube page. All right, so let me share with you guys some more things. And again, I think sometimes when we as leaders or people who are leaders go out and they say they want to do an initiative or something, I don't think that we think far enough in advance of who can get hurt in the process. Because thank you, Holy Spirit, because the very people that you're trying to help, you could actually be hurting. Some of the other things that Target has, here's some of their foundations. This is one of their foundations from the AVPN site. It says at the Target Foundation, we envision a world where all families and communities have the resources they need to determine and realize their own joy in life. That is why the Target Foundation is committed to enabling shared prosperity and opportunity by upholding equity and inclusion for all communities. Guided by our deep commitment to community, we invest in leaders, organizations, coalitions, and networks that expand economic opportunity, equality, equitability, enabling communities to determine their own future. We support strategies that center and elevate the voices, stories, and leaderships of individuals and communities that have historically been silenced. And you can learn more on their website, Target Corporations, Philanthropic, Target Foundations. Here's more of their information. That's one you have there. They also have a grant program, which I will bring that on the screen also, which y'all can see that's on their website. And all of this is found information, you guys, okay? It's found information, okay? It has here grants and corporations here. You can go on their website and you can check out what grants and things. They say our grant making and philanthropy accelerate process towards achieving our goals of supporting the community. And they have here, this is what they've donated already, $406 million donated through Target and Target Foundations, $396 million direct to organizations with local community impact, and $24 million plus provided by Target Foundation to 126 nonprofits around the globe. Who else can say they've donated over $406 million? But that's not it, you guys. There is more. I see you in the green room, Dion. Give me a moment. I'll bring you up here shortly. Hold on. Then we've got here, they've got serving and strengthening of communities. This is their outreach program. The guests and communities we serve are integral to our success. Targets for its vision to co-create an equitable and regenerative future, reinforces the impact of our approach to proactive community engagement and collaboration with nonprofit partners. And they're wanting to explore serving and strengthening communities. This is what they're doing. Now, we can agree to disagree. This is what they're doing. They have a grants program here. I'm just showing y'all, because I'm not going to just come up here and just talk. I'm going to share with y'all information that I found that's right there on the same websites that y'all can find. They got a hometown foundation program. At Target, they believe a vibrant and growing economy is also possible when economic opportunities are available to all neighbors. Target Foundation is committed to advance shared prosperity in Twin Cities, Minneapolis, and St. Paul and the greater state of Minnesota. They also have a grant initiative program. Here's all that. They got asset building program. You can apply if you want to. The grant is closed for 2025, but come on back in the spring of 2026 for the next cycle. Y'all can apply. Okay. They also believe in the planet, the earth, and all that. Hold on, Dion. I see you there. We coming. Let me just get all my stuff off the screen here so I don't forget any of it. These are tools and resources that they have. Sustainable governance, people, planet, business. Okay? Climate control, operating ethically, governance and reporting. They're not hiding anything. Go on there to their sites and take a look. And for my final thing that I want to bring up, which I'm very, very happy that they're doing this, is they are working with St. Jude. Y'all know I have a passion for people who are dealing with cancer or things like that, especially children. They have teamed up with St. Jude with their organization called the Target House. This is a long-term apartment-style housing facility for that they help. And it says, if you are St. Jude Children's Research Hospital long-term, you may be assigned to lodging at Target House. Residency is based on availability, but they help people out there. They've got apartments out there, homes, home setup and so forth, where if you want to be able, if you have to deal with dealing with that, you need a place to stay, reach out to them. They are out here with Target and St. Jude to try and do their part to help families to go through the process of getting their family members to a healing place. And you need residency to do that. And they are there to do that. Okay. That's what I have to say on that. Now, let me hear from all of you. I will read some of your comments. I'm going to go ahead and bring my buddy Dion on the screen. We're going to chit chat, and then I'm going to get into some of y'all's comments. Okay. Now, let me say this. Some of y'all may not like me right now, but I still love all of y'all. For true. I still love all of y'all. Because I can disagree with people and still respect you and still have you at my dinner table as long as you're respectful back to me. Okay? Everybody is entitled to their opinions. Dion, let's hear your opinion.
You broke it down like that. Hey, Regina, how you doing?
What up?
What up, though? Hey, I'm enjoying your show, man. Yes. My food is good. I'm actually pausing on my chicken to enjoy this show. But I like to say this, man. My opinion doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? I'm like you. I like to stick up with facts, and truth hurts. So when we go to the Bible, you know what I'm saying? Of course, a lot of people feel some type of way because it's the truth or whatnot, and they say they believe in the God of the truth, which is Jesus. So let's get to it. Let's just say this is a very interesting thing. Like I said, my opinion doesn't matter. I personally think none of our opinions matter.
Okay.
Anyway, my opinion matters, but when you look at the facts, you know, feelings don't change facts. Facts change feelings. Mm-hmm. So the fact of the matter is, a lot of our people don't know about these things because they don't do the research like what Regina just did. You know, the Bible says in Hosea 4:6, my people perish because of the lack of knowledge. So, of course, when you hear about these things and these truths, it steps on your toes because you didn't do the research or you didn't care to do the research. It's not in your heart. It's not in your mind. It's not in your soul. So, you know, you want to be on the side that Jamal Bryant and these other false prophets, which the Bible says call them out as a false prophet. You know what I'm saying? Mark 13:22, and a slew of a lot of other scriptures tells us to call them. So I can't call them Jamal Bryant. I will say false Pastor Jamal Bryant, and the H stand for heretic.
Be nice, Dion. Don't you start that. Don't you start. Be nice, Dion. I'll have to
But you know,
mute
it
you.
is what it
I'll have to
is.
mute you. Be nice, Dion.
That was funny
Go ahead.
right there. Regina,
Go
that was
ahead.
funny. You got to admit that was funny right there.
No, I don't
But
have to admit it.
my thing
Go
is,
ahead.
I love everybody, you know, and we should love everybody by telling the truth. And the truth will set us free. And it's the sad thing that we had to jump on the train wagon with this boycott and kind of found out what Regina just pulled up was the truth. Target don't got nothing against black people.
Nope.
I said the same thing about Trump. Trump got the Ellis Medal, Island Medal, along with Rosa Parks and Muhammad Ali for doing what? For doing what he did for Jesse Jackson. Helping out the black communities, giving Jesse Jackson a building when nobody gave him no money. No black Negro gave him money. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, we got to research and we got to understand we can't jump on the side of hate because it might sound like hate to you, Regina. It's not no hate speech. It's just the truth.
No,
and I
no,
come
no,
out
you
saying it the way I say it.
Yeah, you say it the way you say it.
Yeah,
I
you
get
know,
it.
you
Yeah,
can't-
I get that. Yeah.
I
And
met
listen,
Jamal
and
Bryant. Jamal Bryant is a cool guy.
Mhm.
I met
Yeah,
him before. He's a cool guy. But when you start talking about Jesus is wrong, you can't tell me nothing. When Jamal Bryant, a preacher, say Jesus is wrong, I don't care. I shook his hand before at a church here
Yeah,
in
that
Greenville,
was
North
good.
Carolina. You know what I'm saying? All that is, how can you follow somebody that's of the devil? Read your Bible, people.
Well, let me
It
go
is what
ahead.
it is.
Thank you, Deanna. You're right. Let's do this. Let's get to some of y'all's comments because I love to go ahead and just see what y'all have to say because most of the time when I'm reading and looking at the screen, I miss a lot of it. Let me see. And hello to all of y'all. If I did not say hello to y'all, my apologies, y'all. I had 12 links open and I had to get to them. But Duchess of BK, thank you, said he did not start the boycott. The young lady who did says they are still boycotting the Target. Okay, I didn't know it. I think they are going to roll out the other stores as well. Tamika Mallory mentioned continuing the boycott. Okay. Dion, you want to respond to that real quick before we move on?
I thought Jamal Bryant said they was finished. He said we won. The track record's over. But like I said, we need to unify. It ain't about being separated and all that in these hours, man. DEI is all about trying to. You say we need to unify, but we don't have to do that, And as far as black people being creative and having their own, we was doing that way back in, since the beginning of times. So I re-examine this DEI. I re-examine even the civil rights. You know what I'm saying? Like why we had to beg the white man to join their business when we had our own Black Wall Street. That's why I question Martin Luther King and all your other Democrats. But carry on.
Well, and you know what? That's your opinion, Dion. That's why you and I, we friends. Because we can accept each other's opinions, right?
Yeah. I dropped some facts, but okay. Carry on.
I know, it's funny. Just being so me said the boycott also hurt other black businesses who partnered with Target. There was no concern for those black business owners. Yeah, even a lot of people, black business owners, got hit. A lot of Tabitha dealt with a lot of people on her platform that were unsubscribing for her because she was like, listen, y'all, we can't just take our business in our garages. We got to, and so a lot of people hurt with this. And I do understand when some certain boycotts are necessary. I do understand that. And there will be some people that will sometimes get hurt in the process. I understand. But this particular one, I just wanted people to see Target's side of all the good that they've done. Jamal, like I said at the beginning of this video, he got every right to his own opinion if he wants to boycott and all that. But you also are going to be held to God, who's going to have to hold you accountable for the wrong that you do if God sees it as wrong. See, man can think, Holy Spirit, man can see it as right, but God can see it as wrong. And where man will hug you, God will hold you accountable. So y'all gotta be careful. That's all I'm saying. Just be careful. Thank you for that. Simply Tarsha said, my husband and I was just talking about this subject last night. Thank you for being here. Emma said, she said, hello, good afternoon, everyone. I stopped shopping at Target 4 months before the boycott, and I have no plans to shop there in the near future. We're okay with that, Emma. That's your choice. I did a video on the 6 days ago, which my husband, he laughed this morning, Dion. My husband laughed this morning because he said, Regina, you just did that video that you said you going into Target to get some water. And I posted that video, and he said that now 6 days later, Jamal Bryant is calling off this Target boycott. I said, well, I was in Erie and I was thirsty, and Target was there, so I went to Target and got me some water. He said, it's so funny you had just posted that video. And I was like, I understand. But listen, I'm Meredith Cherry. We still friends. Listen, if you want to not no longer go there, fine. But here's the other part to this that I said earlier also. Once you start something and then you tell people don't go, and then now you say you ending it and you telling them they can go, a lot of them won't. They will stick with what you did. A lot of them have a hard time releasing it. It's the same way, Dion, like when people come to me and they mad at their friend or their boyfriend or their husband or something, I don't get involved, because once somebody else get involved, now you done made back up with your husband and everybody else still mad. And so, Dion, your video went out. Come on back, Dion. And so I just don't, I got to be careful with all of that stuff. But I understand I'm hereditary. Dion said, Roland Martin married to a woman. Oh, my God, Dion. I can't with you in these comments. All right. Jen saying, Janie Marshall, thank you for being here, said, FBA are not taking orders from anyone. We do not care about what Jamal, Martin, Kamala, Barack, Maxine, or any associated with the Black Bull Party. Your opinion, Janie. Your opinion. Your opinion. Dion also said DEI isn't good at all for Black culture. We had our own businesses for civil rights. I think he just mentioned that as well. Duchess said, I think Target scaled back on DEI after Carolyn Wanga left. Thank you for that. Dion, your video went out. I think your Wi-Fi was acting up. Come on back and hit the link. It's pinned on my YouTube channel. Let me drop this link again, because I think he's coming in on Facebook. So let me drop his the link again in case he wants to come back up. There we go. All right. Thank you. Duchess said, well, at least they are funding Pensole in Detroit. Okay. All right. That looks like it might be a good thing. Hey, Danielle. Janie said Target have gave Jamal the bag. I don't think so. I don't think that has transpired at all. I don't think he was given any money from Target. Now, if he was, what's done in the dark gonna come to the light. So if he was, we will look at that. But I don't think he has been, or he was given anything. There you go. Duchess said, well, there are two schools of thought. The originators haven't stopped boycotting. Nikema L. Armstrong says it's still on. Jamal just had the bigger platform. Okay, thank you for that, because I wasn't even aware of Nikema Armstrong. Were you, Dion, were you familiar with her? No. Okay. JP said partnership with one HBCU.
Over here too, Regina.
Okay, yeah, because you're freezing. Mm-hmm. And no investment in Black banks.
I'm trying to find a good spot.
Successful. Okay. All right. Thank you, JP.
That's better.
That's better. Yeah. Stephanie said, yes, we have to learn the history of Target. Thank you. Tricky said, that's the narrative I was led to believe. Great research. Thank you. Thank you, Tricky. And that's the reason why I wanted to do this, because sometimes we just go based on a narrative. And I'm sorry about that, Yo-Yo. Okay, I've got to go over to get some better Wi-Fi over here at my sister's.
It's a storm over here. I'm sorry.
No, it wasn't you. No, she was talking about me earlier. This was earlier. This was about 1 something when I started this. I'll take copy of your findings. Thank you. Yeah, you can. You can share the video. It's there as well. Let's see what Duchess said. I said, I don't think it said they didn't help us at all. They scaled back. Remember, Carolyn Wanga, formerly from Essence, was there. Then people got riled up after ICE was in the parking lots. Okay. Thank you for that as well. Thank you, Dion. Let me go back to, hold on. What was the next comment out here? Remember, it said Target history doesn't match their current values. For instance, history tells us that the Republican Party was full of abolitionists, while the Democratic Party was full of racists. Interesting. Do y'all know history? When you look up history, do y'all know history? When history started, Black Americans were Republicans. Did y'all know that? Study your history. We weren't always Democratic. We originally started out being Republicans. Study your history.
The Republican Party was the Black Party.
Yeah, that's right. It was back in history, and then slowly it changed. Money, all that kind of stuff. Judges said no one said they were
And deceit.
philanthropic. They scaled back due to politics. And you know what? They also probably changed when Mr. Dayton passed away, because y'all know when leadership leaves organizations, new leadership comes in place and things change. So that could have happened as well. Amaretto said, as you can see, the political parties have changed their stance and values. That's great about Target's history, but that is no longer the case. No, they still have all their philanthropic work that they're doing. All the things that I mentioned, they still doing. They have not stopped. They are still doing everything that I mentioned up there, according to their websites. They're still doing all of that stuff. See, and that's what people want you to believe, that they're no longer doing these things. They say it, but when you research, you'll find out Target is still doing these things. So they are. All right. So Win Love, thank you for being here, said, I don't think the boycott was about their giving. I think it was about their promise that they made after George Floyd K, and they went back on it in DEI. And I understand that as well. And listen, and I saw this from a business perspective, where you've got the president of the United States coming after these corporations to change their paperwork and to change their employment things. Those companies were hit with a lot. If President Trump wrote y'all a letter and said, y'all better do this or this or that's going to happen, how many of y'all going to be like, no, I'm black and I'm proud and I'm going to do what I want to? Be real, y'all. Come on now. Come on, y'all. So some companies were hit and they were like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I built this company. I don't want, this, new office of president people coming after me. Yo, they did what they did, whether we agree with it, whether we didn't agree with it. Y'all weren't the ones that were getting the letters and saying, do this or else. A company had to make a choice. Some companies stood firm and they were like, we not. And some companies didn't. I felt for the corporate part because I'm a business owner. And I know if I would have gotten something like that, I would have been like, I don't know about y'all. I'm going to have to make this decision based on my company, not based on my ethnicity. Just to be honest. I'm telling you, I would have to make it based on my company. Ethnicity wouldn't have played a part in it. Because I know if I done built a company from the 1900s, here it is 2025, and y'all threatening to take my company that I done built, man, please. It would not have been about race. Yeah, go ahead, Dion.
Why do Black Democrats always make everything about the color, the race thing? Because they're still on the black plantation. Trust me, I was on it. Trust me. It ain't about no color thing at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, there you go. There you go. Let's see. Win Love said Hobby Lobby is like that now. They're not open on Sundays, but they are supporters of the White House. I don't know who they support, but thank you if that's valid information. Thank you. Duchess said Carolyn Wenger, African-American woman, DEI at Target over a decade. She left. I know a gentleman who worked at Target for a long time. And when all this happened, a young man left and he got another job somewhere else. And he had been with Target for, I think, 8 years. 8 years. Wednesday, what you read is why there was a boycott. I don't know what maybe that was part of when I spoke about George Floyd. And again, may he rest in peace, because he did not deserve what happened to him at all. Kanik said, well, I still shop at Target when good discounts for work clothes. I know, Kanik, right? Girl, I went over there and got me a bottle of water. Duchess said, all I can say is all I can say is go where your heart leads. Exactly, Duchess. And I can respect that. She also said the real problem is how we choose to use our economic power and don't own anything like a Target to begin with. Ooh, that's powerful. Target is the only store that has a Black History Month section with clothes, books, and calendars. Wow. Okay. So I didn't even know that either. Thank you. She also said that's why we need our own and support our own. Then we will be talking about our people. Ding, ding, ding. Also, Duchess said, When Love does also, they also shop directly with the African American vendors who had an actual website. For example, I think Ghetto Gastro, Black owned Pop Tart like company has a site. Okay. Thank you for that. And she also said we should be having this same conversation, but talking about our people. And I thank Target for what they do for us. Yeah, thank you. And that's true because we love Dion. You know, some of our African American organizations don't do us right. And yet we don't want to say nothing about it. We just simply say, I'm
Black
not
Lives
going
Matter.
to. But then nobody want to say, well, no, y'all need to protest them or not. Come on now. You're right, Win Love. Mm-hmm. Yep, you're right. She also said, I think both things can be true. I mean, Target was always an essence fest. If we scared one company, I think the goal was to make others fall in line. Yeah, I get that as well. Also, it said, can you touch on the original person who started the boycott? They said that is already. Hey, DCYT Ministry. Hey, Pastor Mo. Thank you for coming in. Y'all go over there to my friend Pastor Mo's channel. Have you been to Pastor Mo's channel, Dion? You have. You get in the comment section, right? On DYCT Ministries, have you been there? I think his Wi-Fi is acting up.
I haven't yet.
Oh, okay.
I haven't yet.
Oh, okay. Check him out. He's good. You might like him. Amir said a few years ago, Target opened stores across Canada. They lasted about a year and all closed. We boycotted unintentionally, I guess, and it worked here. Okay. I had no idea about that. Winlove said this information is very informative. I think they were pressured by the new administration. I think they were. People are also made with Target like Home Depot for allowing ICE to target immigrants without taking a real stance to speak up against ICE. Yeah. Katrina said he's so thirsty for attention. His ego loved this moment for him. I'm sure it will come out how much he was paid, if he was given anything at all. If he was given anything at all, we shall see. Hey, Pounce 94 said, I think Jamal Bryant may have hurt the community more than he helped. That's my thought too. That is my thought. For the ones that could not, go out there and go to the other places. Melissa, thank you for being here. Said Target lost a lot of money. Blacks bring them a lot of money, and they still won't step their Black feet back in there. A lot of them won't. But I still go. Wynn said, is there data that shows that Target still give that money during the time of the boycott? Yes, they have, according to their website. And you can go to their website and pull up their websites and see what they have given. Okay. They still have continued their philanthropy work during the whole thing, from my understanding. Go ahead, Dion. Okay. How do we know Jamal doesn't have a kickback from Target? He's a little too eager to drop this Target boycott that he did not start. Yeah, well, Katrina said, so disrespectful to not include the real founders. Why weren't they there? I guess she's talking about Jamal. Like, why are you having this whole press conference? I don't know who was the founder or not. I don't know. Rain Terra CSLT, thank you for being here, said, I respectfully disagree. Target made a promise to enact DEI and invest in the Black community. They openly rolled back on the pledge after 47 took office. That was a slap in the Black face. And I get that. But again, they were one of those corporations that were, from my understanding, served that notice. But I get what you're saying. Also said, She Gives and Cries said exactly, Katrina. So those ladies should have allowed to be the ones calling off the boycott. It was their movement in the first place. And y'all are teaching me, because I had no idea that they had, those young ladies had started before. It's not Black people boycotting. Honestly, anytime I pass a boycott, we are shopping there. ICE and LGBT communities are also rolled up in this. Thank you for that, Duchess of BK, as well. Because yes, there are other cultures and the LGBT community as well included. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Katrina said he is trying to be more like Dr. Martin Luther King more than Christ, and that's a problem for me. I get it. Raina said Community Day still haven't apologized for that and haven't met all of the boycott demands. Furthermore, they are allowed also to use their parking lots while they tear. Oh, I'm sorry, that's awful. Thank you for that, though. Appreciate it. Pound said, my mind went to the Target employees. What happened to them and their income if or when people stop shopping or aren't shopping as much as Target? And that's what I said in one of my videos. And for those of you watching, I have several videos that I did on this in the description of these channels, my Facebook and my YouTube. If y'all want to go back and take a look at some of those, I put the links to about 4 videos I did on this Target issue when it started. Thank you for that as well. Katrina Acesso said, nothing wrong with political activism, but the way he does it is so performative to me. He always uses his church to push agendas more than the message of salvation in Christ, in my opinion. Thank you. And Mamir said, it is so frustrating when people like Jamal hijack a movement and make it about them. In my community, it's called riding someone else's smoke. Wow. I didn't know that's a nice saying, riding somebody else's smoke. Wynn said, I thought they stopped all that. That's why there was a boycott. They went back on their promise. Wow. Rana said, Bryant didn't start the boycott in the first place. He owes Nakima Levy Armstrong an apology. We got to pull up, who is this Nakima Levy Armstrong? Let's see. Y'all got so many other comments in here. Jamal saw an opportunity for exposure and the limelight, and he pounced, just like how he exploited the dress to keep people talking about him and his wife at an expense. Yeah. Yeah. You got family in Greenville? Okay, nice. The point, I think the point of the boycott was to make us aware how white America corporations start taking away the smallest things, and before you know it, they take away everything. Yeah, and that does happen, Emerald Cherry. It does. And we have to also do the same thing like I did on this one. Go back and see what you were doing. And if they're no longer doing it, then, hold them to the standard of, hey, why weren't you doing it? Why did you stop that? What is going on? What took place? Can we reincorporate that? And if the thing is we just don't want to do it because we don't like y'all no more, then that's where the real issue is. But thank you for that. She also said we have to pay attention to those foundations that Target created, and all the donations they give are just distraction to their hidden agenda. I don't think so. I don't think it's a hidden agenda to what they're doing. I think it was always their motive to help. And like I said, when it started out, their first mission that they wanted to do back in the 1900s, before the name Target was even a brand, was they wanted to help churches. Now, some may say, well, was it the white church? Was it this church? Listen, they were out there trying to help, and y'all know how it was back in the 1900s, y'all. But the initiative continued even to today, 2026, where they are still helping people. I don't think they have check on this page if you black or check over here if you're white. That's just my thought. And I always try and do my best to see good in a situation instead of trying to create a bad narrative, and you don't even know if your narrative is true. We all got to think, Holy Spirit. We all got to take an account for what we do on this earth. We all have to take an account. Moses, how you doing, Moses, my brother? Said, I have much respect for Pastor Jamal Bryant. He fight for the plight of others and even endured death threats, etc. Target made promises and now is making good. Thank you. Y'all continue to keep my friend Moses Tyson in your prayers. Thank you for being here, my brother. Thank you for that. That's right. Thank God I live in North Carolina. There's an alternative Target. I haven't shopped before the boycott announcement, and I won't. Thank you, Raina. Appreciate you as well. This here. Didn't Caucasian women actually benefit from the DI more than other groups? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Not sure. Moses said, we need people like Jamal Bryant. I applaud his courage and support of our people. Thank you. I have to disagree with you, but okay. And the only reason why I'm saying I disagree is because sometimes I don't like some of the people are saying, even in the chat, that he should have gave more homage to the person that started it. But I just don't agree with a lot of things that people do. But it doesn't mean that because I disagree that other people that agree or can't be friends with me. It's not. That's not the way I am. I'm not going to hold a grudge against you because you disagree with me on a stance or we disagree and so forth. I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that at all. Y'all, we have to learn how to be mature in this situation. And It may have benefited, a lot of people. That's right. Studies show yourself approved. It may have benefited, but it also hurt a lot of people, you guys. It really did. It really did hurt a lot of individuals. All right, you guys, we're at the hour and a half mark. Thank y'all so very much for y'all's comments, y'all statements, and everything. I appreciate y'all coming on in here, being so loving and kind. Y'all continue to keep all parties in your prayers, okay, with all this, especially, family members that lost their jobs during to this. I do know that Jamal Bryant mentioned that there were certain African-American women who lost finances, but there was a lot of, individuals, whether they were African-American women or not. There was a lot of African-American men who lost their job. They're Asian people, corporations, people who had put their products in Target and can't bounce back. Everybody can't bounce back from this. Jamal Bryant, I believe is going to be fine. He's still got the church, and the church is funding him for being a pastor there, and he's probably going to be absolutely fine. But I'm just, concerned about people that are not going to be fine. And even though we understand that Pastor Jamal Bryant may be saying, this is his mission and he feel as though he's right, that's okay too. Others that disagree with him can feel as though he's wrong. That's okay. As long as we remember our movement in agreeing or disagreeing is respectful. I can respect you and still sit at a table with you while I disagree with you. I don't have to be said, thrown out, you get out, I'm never going to talk to you again. I can still be a type of human being that even though I disagree, I can do it respectfully and lovingly. And I think that's the bigger picture of what we need to look at doing situations like this is, even though some may agree with him and some may disagree, even though you have family members that you agree with on this or disagree, just do it respectfully. Do it respectfully. And even though you may never see eye to eye about a situation, don't take it to the point where you got to disrespect this person because you feel as though they should be on your side. The Bible tells us, basically like, whose side you on? I'm on the Lord's side. I'm on the Lord's side, and I'm going to keep going that route. And that means sometimes it's going to mean I'm going to agree with some stances and some I'm not going to agree with. But, shout out to those who are willing to go out there on the battlefield and feel as though they're fighting for a cause that's right. And shout out to those who feel as though they're going to protect, and they feel as though even though the attack is coming, they're still going to hold their stance as well. My main focus is nobody should get physically hurt in the process of us disagreeing with situations in life. That's my main focus. Okay. Thank y'all so very much for being here. Father, help us all to be better versions of ourselves. Help, Lord, in this whole situation. Lord, we pray that reconciliation can come in a loving way, not be disrespectful, not be unkind, not be mean or nasty, Lord. But Father, even in moments where a stance has to be taken, Lord, let the mutual conversations be that even though we have to disagree, let us do it lovingly and respectfully. Let us still be great leaders, even in our stance during opposition, and even in our stance to try and protect what we have. Let us still be great leaders to others, how we need to go forward in the process, because we never know. You're watching, but Lord, we never know if your stance is with the one that we feel we are coming against. Let us be reminded to be good human beings in the process, in every aspect and walk of our lives. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen, amen, and amen. All right, y'all. That's all I got to say on this for now. Now, we got church news tonight. We got some more conversations we're going to have. We got church news coming up. Hopefully we can have some fun, some laughter tonight. Y'all be back here at 7:30 p.m. We're going to chit chat, have us a good time. And then, you guys, we'll be back to our motivational videos in the morning. If y'all missed a motivational video this morning, y'all want to pull that up. We had such a good time over there doing that motivational video this morning. All right. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you, everybody in the comment section. Thank y'all for being so loving and kind. I will see all of y'all on the very next one. Okay. Appreciate y'all for coming on in. Bye, guys. I'll see y'all tonight at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Bye.